I'm going to explain today what clairsentience is and how it manifests. I can't tell you the number of times I've gone online and I've Googled clairsentience and been astounded to see how many websites still have misinformation or just simply completely 100% incorrect information on clairsentience. It's really tough because there does seem to be this gray area between empathy and clairsentience, and so oftentimes, many times, they're compared. People see them as being the same. They think that they're both about picking up emotions and thoughts, and actually that's quite far from the truth. Empathy, first of all, empathy is genetic. So empathy is not like a Claire. Empathy is something that you either have it or you don't. And like I said, it's genetic. And empathy has also been scientifically proven. Now, clairsentience, it's a metaphysical ability. Clairsentience, obviously, being metaphysical, has not been proven. And that's the biggest definition of metaphysical. It is something or knowledge that is attained in a way that cannot be proven. So, now we know that the definition of empathy is being able to pick up someone's emotions or feelings as though they are our own. And that's the basic definition. Now, clairsentience, the definition of it as a psychic ability is clear feeling. Clear meaning clear, sentient meaning to feel. Literally, it does mean to be able to feel energy. But let me get more specific about that, because I think that maybe because it's always said to feel energy, and that word feel is used, that maybe that's another reason why it is so misunderstood. Well, if you put it a different way, and if you look at it a different way, we are talking about something similar to the other clairs. If you're using clairvoyance, that more speaks of which sense you're using. You're using clairvoyant, you're using psychic sight. If you say clairaudience, which is clear hearing, now we're talking about using our ears, but not our physical ears, our metaphysical ears. Talking about clairsentience, we're talking about being able to clearly sense energy. I'm not going to say feel. It's actually the ability to clearly sense energy. Now, you would think that means sense it with any one of your senses, but no. Actually, it's to sense it in more of a subtle way. Okay, so the way I'm a fully developed clairsentient, so I am not speaking to you from the point of view of these are the definitions that I've heard, this is the research that I've done. No, you could say the research is my own self. I actually struggled with clairsentience for about a year when it first, just out of the blue, developed. Now, anyone that's gone through this and has gone through what I have, they will clearly know what clairsentience is and the difference between empathy and clairsentience if they've gone through this and it's fully come out and they've developed it. What actually happened was one day I realized that I was feeling energy on different parts of my body, within and without. So meaning sometimes I was literally feeling something like, I could say, that feels like my kidney I'm feeling. Or it felt like I would get this energy in one of my, in my sex organs, and that would be my root chakra I would be feeling. Or the bottom of my foot would get hot. Or my right pinky toe, I would feel energy there. Or I would feel like a pin poke, like a pin was pricking me on my left knee. this drove me crazy for a very long time. Very long time. What I mean is, when it first started manifesting, I didn't know what it was. And the thing was, no one was able to tell me when I described it to them. I did almost a year's worth of research to be able to determine that it was clairsentience. And then even after realizing it was clairsentience, the reason why it took me a year is because that's how long it took me to research and find enough information to put it together to actually figure out what was really going on and what this ability was, how it was manifesting, and how the heck was I going to use it. I mean, really, because who wants an ability that's fully functioning kind of in your face all day and you can't use it? So, of course, and I also realized that the difference with clairsentience is it was an ability that was always on. Why? Well, simple. It's always on, similar to and much like empathy is always on. It's always on, but you learn to control it. With clairsentience, yeah, it's a little bit different, the whole learning to control it, because you're literally, this isn't about picking up emotions. And I know that that's what all the different websites keep saying, that clairsentience is also about picking up feelings and emotions, and it is in fact not. Actually, it's about being able to feel energy. So with this, you could communicate with spirit. You can communicate with plant life. You can communicate with animals. If people would think out of the box a little bit and get away from these definitions of it that actually came out ages ago, and for some reason we're just not letting go of these old definitions that no longer are accurate, that we now know are not accurate, but we're just not letting go of it. Well, it's time to let go of it, because if we can let go of it and people can see what clairsentience really is, which will give them the opportunity to really learn more about it and really develop, in the future, this can provide a new way for us to one day be able to communicate with each other. I mean, if you think of the implications of, because literally this is an ability that anyone can, develop. Anyone can bring this out and manifest this. And so if you think about what that would mean in the future, a new way to communicate with people, a new way to relate to people, it's just the thought of that is amazing in itself. So what I do with my clairsentience is I literally use it to communicate, but with my guides, with my higher self, with ascended masters, with angels. All spirits communicate with me this way. At first, it used to drive me nuts because this was not the ability I wanted. Of course, I wanted clairvoyance or clairaudience like everybody else. I used to wonder why I ended up with clairsentience. Why did I end up with an ability that was the toughest to translate? And also the toughest to get help on, because no one really knew much about it. But now the very thing that a few years back I used to curse, I actually feel blessed for. It has given me such wonderful experiences. I mean, here's an example. If you can imagine, if you want to know what it feels like to be in the presence of Jesus, say, for example, or Mother Mary with clairsentience, you can. This is a little bit different than clairvoyance, where, yeah, you can be in their presence and you can see them, or you can have clairaudience and you can hear them, which I have also, and it's a wonderful experience. And through clairaudience and hearing them, you also, you pick up their vibrations. There is this connection that happens when they communicate with you. But with clairsentience, it's almost like you really get that opportunity to feel like you're in their presence. You literally feel them. One of the things that I always feel when I'm in the presence of Jesus, when when the Ascended Master Jesus comes forward is I actually feel like a rock. I feel like a really heavy boulder. And I can remember ever since I was a child feeling that. I can remember when I was very young having that sensation of feeling like a rock. I mean, literally, I would feel like I was a boulder. And I can't really explain it any better than that. Well, it wasn't until recently that I realized what that feeling was. When he came forward to me, and I had the feeling again, and suddenly, light bulb went off, and I was like, that's what that feeling is. That is what I was feeling. That is what he feels like to me through my clairsentience. So I use my clairsentience to communicate every day. But not just with spirit. Even as I am standing and speaking with someone and they're telling me something, my clairsentience is working even on that. So let's say, for example, they're telling me something. I will feel like, say somebody is trying to explain to me something that happened because it's leading up to them asking me to do them a favor. I may feel energy on my left shoulder, which for me translates to a burden, but it also depends on how I feel that energy. You know, I feel it different ways. Sometimes I feel the energy in a painful way. Sometimes it feels like pressure. Sometimes literally it might feel like someone's pressing down on my shoulder. Sometimes it might feel like, you know, I might get a pinprick there, and it all will translate differently. So the meaning would be different if it's painful versus if it's just like a subtle light feeling of energy. And I would know from that this person that is speaking to me is under burdens, that they're feeling very burdened. So even while somebody is communicating with me, I am getting these clairsentient symbols, which I am able to, you know, quietly to myself translate, and I usually know what's going on with the person on a much deeper level even before they fully explain their story to me. It also gives me insight to know more specifically what's going on with them, because sometimes people will only tell you part of the story. Well, my clairsentience will tell me the rest. But this is very, very, very much unlike empathy. Now, I'm an empath as well, and so that is the reason why I can tell you that. My empathy and my clairsentience, two totally different things. I mean, we're literally almost talking fruit and meat here. You know, it's almost like there are overlappings, there are some comparisons that you can make, but clearly there is, without a doubt, these are not the same ability at all. And one day, you know, this information will get out there in a much bigger way, to the point where maybe some of the misinformation will go away, and then I feel like people will have a better chance to develop this wonderful ability. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you for your time. Make sure to visit me on SherryAndrea.com. Bye.